It's been brutal if you're in the market to buy a car these past couple of years. Ever since I would say 2021, things just got really short on supply, whether it was microchips or other things going on, shutdowns around the world. Parts are in very limited quantities, therefore they can't make cars in the large quantities we are used to. They say good things come to those who wait, and the car gods have finally answered our prayers. Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Mazda, we're going to talk about their production capacity and how it's skyrocketing. Also, Toyota and Daimler, aka Mercedes-Benz, are working together to build commercial vehicles. Who would have thought? And check out these camouflage spy shots in Japan. We'll talk about these at the end. It could be a GR Prius and an LX hybrid as well. But on to the exciting news here, guys. Availability for your cars, for if you're in the market for a new car, is going to get much, much better in the following months, second half of 2023, because in April of 2023, if we look at Toyota first, and we'll look at the other ones after this, no, their sales are not breaking records right now, but they're up 5% compared to last April. But what's more important is the production from April, and that is at a record high. You're talking about a record high for the world's largest automaker, making more vehicles than they ever had before for the month of April. Toyota's up about 14%. Daihatsu, their mini car maker, is down because they've had safety controversies going on. Their cars have not been passing safety regulations, or they've essentially been selling them unsafe. And Hino's been a mess with their emissions cheating. So Toyota subsidiary companies are absolute in the crap hole right now. But Hino will see some new life as they team up with Mercedes and Daimler. But overall, production up 8%. Here in North America, they make a ton. It doesn't specify which region. It just says production outside Japan, also at a record high, up about 15%. If we go to the first quarter production, it has not been good outside of Japan until April, right? Where we saw, remember, up 15% outside of Japan. So that is a reversing course. But production inside of Japan is soaring, and overall production for the first quarter is up 7%, but it's going to get better and better and better as the months go on. So let's go on over to Honda. Things are looking good. They had a really rough 2022. Things are looking really good over in Japan, but even though they're up 166% year over year compared to last April, we don't get any Hondas from Japan here in the United States, other than like, what is it, the Type R? So extremely low volume. Overseas production, that's what we want to focus on, because Honda makes a ton of vehicles here in North America, and that is up 140% on the month of April. If you look at the year, it's just barely up on the year, just like Toyota. And looking at the North American production, this is where they make a lot of vehicles in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So we've seen an increase for 4 consecutive months. They're up 120% year over year, and it's even more for the month of April. Heading on over to Nissan, overall global production is up 4% for them. In the month of April, it's about 16%, so very similar to Honda and Toyota. We also get plenty of Nissans from Mexico and Infinitis from Mexico as well. That's up 7%, but year over year, the Mexican production is up 34%, US production up 13%. So things are looking really good for Nissan, especially here in the United States. If we go to Mazda, Mazda even gave us some numbers here. Now, Mazda supplies the United States with vehicles mainly from Japan, but also some come from Mexico as well. But if you look at the global production year over year, it's up 30%. What's really impressive is their exports for the month of April. Now, if we look at what they did for the CX-90, the CX-90 has not been on sale for the whole year, but let's say 6,800 units times, let's say they're able to match that production month after month, that's 61,000 CX-90s. If we go over to car figures, I want to look at the CX-9's like yearly sales to see how much further they're going to blow past the CX-9 sales. All right, so the CX-9 only sold 34,000 units in 2022. Which it was like an all-time high if you look at it. 34,000. They've never sold more than that. I mean, back in 2011 they got close, and in 2021 it was pretty close. But Mazda pacing roughly 60,000 units, nearly doubling their CX-9 sales. If we go to about, let's say they can actually increase production from there. Let's say they do 7,000 per month times 12 for the whole year of 2024. That's 84,000 units. And geez, they weren't kidding when they said they think they can sell 100,000 units. Well, check out my reviews. It's one of the best three-row crossovers I've ever driven. Mazda 3 getting some big uptick as well. That's great to see. And that's actually pretty impressive volume. And then the CX-5, their bestseller, just made a video on the next generation CX-5. It won't be out till probably 2025. But in the meantime, they're going to crank this thing. And this vehicle, like the 4Runner that is leaving today, just prints money for their parent company. CX-30, I believe, is mainly produced in Mexico. That's up about 77%. CX-50 up 108%. The CX-50 still should be higher than this. This is a very low volume here. It's still coming out of the plant from Alabama. They just can't get those workers there. And Mazda 3, probably referring to the ones built in Mexico, up about 75%. Subaru had a really rough, I think it was 2020 and 2021, and they started seeing some relief in 2022. And here in 2023, what is it looking like for the first quarter? Production here is at the top. So if we look at year over year, up 14% for domestic. That's over in Japan. We get a lot of Japanese Subarus imported into America. Overseas production is about identical. Interesting. They're all up about 13% around the world. But let's get into some breaking news here. This really doesn't affect the majority of you guys out there, but it is still fun to talk about because Daimler, one of the largest, if not the largest truck manufacturer in the world, is teaming up with Toyota here to build commercial vehicles together to share technology. So Daimler Truck owns a lot of subsidiaries. So we go to Daimler over at Wikipedia. Of course, they own Mercedes-Benz lines of commercial vehicles. They also own Mitsubishi Fuso, as well as Detroit Diesel, as well as a few others. If we go over to Mitsubishi Fuso, they're owned 90% by Daimler, aka Mercedes. Daimler Truck, Mitsubishi Fuso, Hino, and Toyota will collaborate toward achieving carbon neutrality and creating a prosperous mobility society by developing CASE technologies, connected, autonomous, and automated, shared, and electric, and strengthening the commercial vehicle businesses on a global scale. We don't have full details, but we will have those details in the next 18 months where they have to provide the nature of the company, the name, the location, shareholding ratio, and corporate structure of a new holding company. Toyota already works with BMW to build fuel cell stacks, as well as the Supra, and here they are teaming up with the world's largest truck maker, essentially from Germany as well. This is a mock-up of the upcoming LBX. It's supposed to be based off the B platform for Toyota and maybe the Lexified version of the Yaris Cross. And we already had the teaser that kind of showed off this front portion of the grille and the headlights. So that is going to be accurate. But what isn't accurate are the dimensions here. But the window line is not accurate. You know, we have this floating roof line. It looks like the A-pillar backwards, they essentially just took, and even the wheels look very similar to the Yaris Cross. This is going to be much more lengthened compared to that vehicle, I think, and not quite as tall. The lines here are quite a bit different. You see this line from the taillight comes down much more aggressively here in this vehicle. Here in the actual LBX, it goes much further in front of the door handle. And you can see this curvature in the door panels where we don't see it here on this Yaris Cross with a Lexus front. I think this grille could very well be pretty accurate and largely due to the mixing of the teaser that we have, as well as mixing it with the RX premium model, for example. But honestly, I would rather have this vehicle in America compared to the UX. I'm just not a big fan of the UX. I think they would be able to do a little bit more in terms of spatial reworkings, maybe a little bit of magic to make it more livable compared to the UX, but time will tell. We won't get this in America, so my excitement on it is waning. But my excitement is at an all-time high here. Over at Twitter on T-Say's account, we have some spy shots here of a Lexus LX, and it is camouflaged. It's hard to say exactly what it is, but it could be the hybrid, especially with the bottom portion of the bumper here. It could be the LX 700H because that has been trademarked. So that could be happening. And these taillights also look blacked out, which I don't remember if there is blacked out on the current models. All right, so the other exciting piece here is this Prius that's completely camouflaged. And they teased what looked to be a GR Prius that will be revealed at Le Mans in just a few weeks. We have what looks to be 17 or 18-inch steel wheels here with a unique hubcap on it. Very generic. They're just trying to hide the nature of this vehicle, but the new Prius is unmistakable even in camouflage. But I don't really see a body kit on here or anything, so it's hard to say what's going on with this Prius. If they just kept it stock on the outside with maybe some workings on the inside to make it faster, more horsepower tuned for the track, then I don't think anyone would be taking spy shots. But the fact that it's completely wrapped gets us wondering, what the heck are they doing with the Prius? If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Hit the like button. That helps me out. And make sure you're subscribed because we have so much coming down the hatch. Today, the embargo lifts on the Grand Highlander. I got 3 videos coming for that. Also, I will be driving the Acura Integra Type S in about a week from now. I'll also be revealing the new Lexus TX and GX in about a week from now as well. And we also have that LBX I'll be covering. Not in person because it's not going to be in America unless Toyota or Lexus surprises us in Austin, Texas, where they reveal the GX and TX. But I'm not going to get my hopes up for it. Then fingers crossed for a GR Prius being revealed at Le Mans would be amazing. But I got into there. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Peace out. Man, the cars are coming back in volume. It's good times. All right. Have a good day.